A used car sitting on a UK forecourt right now looks like a bargain. The badge screams prestige. The leather smells expensive. The price tag shows £40,000 less than it cost new. But here is what the salesman will never tell you. According to the What Car Reliability Survey of over 32,000 owners, premium brands including Jaguar, Audi and Land Rover consistently score below average, with fault rates climbing above 40% in some models. The average repair bill for a luxury car in Britain now sits at over £800 per visit. Insurance groups stretch into the high 40s, and depreciation curves on these machines are so steep that some lose more value in 3 years than a new Honda Civic costs outright. Today we are diving deep into 10 luxury cars rotting on British forecourts, unwanted, unloved, and bleeding money for anyone foolish enough to take them home. We begin with a name most British buyers have never heard of. The DS9 was meant to be Citroën's answer to the German executive saloon, a French luxury flagship with quilted leather, a hushed cabin and technology borrowed from the premium establishment. On paper, it sounds compelling. In reality, it has become one of the fastest depreciating cars in Britain. A DS9 that cost over £55,000 new can now be found for less than £20,000. That is a loss of over £46,000 in just 3 years. The problem is not necessarily the car itself. The real sting is brand perception. DS Automobiles lacks the dealer network, the heritage and the resale confidence that German rivals enjoy. Owners in Surrey report that most people ask what a DS actually is. When it comes time to sell, there are almost no buyers. Insurance sits in group 39 to 41, and while the hybrid variants claim impressive fuel economy figures, real-world returns rarely match the brochure. For anyone chasing luxury without the badge tax, the DS9 offers remarkable value on the used market. But that value exists precisely because nobody else wants it. Moving forward, we find a car that represents an even stranger situation. The Infiniti Q50 arrived in Britain, promising Japanese luxury with a hint of Mercedes engineering. Nissan's premium brand offered powerful engines, striking design and competitive pricing. Then, in 2020, Infiniti pulled out of the UK market entirely. The brand simply left. Today, used Q50s sit on forecourts from £4,000 to £13,000, representing astonishing value on paper. The engines are reliable, the interiors are well built, the driving experience is perfectly adequate. But here is the catch: there is no dealer network, there is no manufacturer support. When something goes wrong, owners must rely on independent specialists or Nissan dealers willing to help. One owner in Birmingham discovered that a software recall could only be performed at specific locations, requiring a 200-mile round trip. Parts availability is becoming increasingly difficult. Resale values continue to fall because buyers simply cannot accept the risk. The Q50 might run forever, but finding someone to service it becomes harder every year. The next car carries a badge that should mean passion, heritage, and driving pleasure. The Alfa Romeo Giulia is genuinely beautiful. Its proportions, its steering feel, its exhaust note all deliver something the Germans struggle to match. Yet it sits unloved on forecourts across Britain, and the numbers explain why. After 3 years, the Giulia retains just 37% of its original value. A car that cost £48,000 new can be yours for under £20,000. Insurance groups range from 22 to 37 for standard models, climbing to 49 for the Quadrifoglio. But the real fear is reliability. Alfa Romeo's reputation precedes it. Whether deserved or not, British buyers worry about electrical gremlins, expensive servicing and dealer experiences that lack the polish of Audi or BMW. One owner in Manchester reported 3 visits to the dealer in the first year alone. Forum posts overflow with tales of warning lights, software glitches and sensors that fail without explanation. The tragedy is that many Giulias run perfectly well. The stigma simply refuses to fade. Italian drama reaches its peak with our next entry. The Maserati Ghibli promised to democratize the Trident badge, bringing Italian exotic appeal to executive car money. When new, prices started around £60,000. Today, examples with reasonable mileage trade for £25,000 or less. Depreciation of over 50% is standard. Insurance sits in Group 50, the highest possible category. Annual premiums for younger drivers can exceed £3,000. Servicing costs match the exotic image, with routine maintenance bills running into four figures. Recalls have addressed throttle pedals, handbrake mechanisms, fuel lines, and rear suspension components. Electrical issues plague ownership forums with reports of faulty temperature gauges, parking sensor failures, and infotainment systems that freeze mid-journey. One owner in Leeds described his Ghibli as the most beautiful headache he has ever owned. The sound of that Ferrari-derived V6 is intoxicating. The running costs are not. We now reach the halfway point, and before we continue, if you are finding this breakdown useful, consider subscribing. Every video on this channel uses real UK data, genuine owner experiences, and honest assessments. No sponsorship from manufacturers, no glossy press releases, just the numbers that actually matter when you are spending your own money. The Jaguar XF represents a particularly British tragedy. Here is a car designed in Coventry, built with genuine sporting intent, and finished with materials that rival anything from Stuttgart or Munich. The XF should be a national treasure. Instead, it depreciates faster than almost any competitor. A 3-year-old XF that cost £50,000 new can be found for under £20,000. Jaguar's reliability record carries much of the blame. The What Car survey placed Jaguar near the bottom of manufacturer rankings, with electrical faults, timing chain issues on early diesel models, and infotainment problems reported frequently. Owners in Edinburgh warned specifically about the 2-litre diesel engines fitted before 2019, where timing chain failures caused catastrophic damage. Post-2019 models received upgraded components, but the damage to reputation was already done. Insurance groups climb into the high 30s. Warranty periods lag behind German rivals. And the looming question of Jaguar's electric-only future leaves used buyers wondering about long-term parts supply. The German flagship saloons have always offered technology and refinement that trickle down to lesser models years later. The Audi A8 sits at the pinnacle of Ingolstadt engineering, with air suspension, matrix LED headlights, and an interior that silences the outside world. The problem is what happens when that technology fails. Air suspension repairs run between £500 and £2,500. Timing chain replacements on V8 models can exceed £4,000. Electrical systems grow increasingly complex, and independent specialists often lack the diagnostic equipment to address faults. Depreciation hits 49% within 5 years. A car that cost £90,000 new can be acquired for under £40,000, but the fear of repair bills keeps buyers away. One owner in Kent reported a single dealer visit costing £1,800 for air suspension work. The A8 is mechanically sophisticated, beautifully built, and absolutely punishing when it goes wrong. The Mercedes S-Class has defined luxury motoring for decades. Every generation introduces features that eventually appear across the entire industry. Adaptive cruise control, active safety systems, massage seats, and cabin fragrances all debuted in the S-Class. Yet this flagship suffers the same fate as its German rivals. Depreciation averages 34% in 3 years, but absolute losses are enormous. A car that cost £100,000 sheds £34,000 in value before the warranty expires. Maintenance costs scale with the technology. Air suspension, active body control, and complex electronics all demand specialist attention. Insurance groups sit in the mid to high 40s. Running costs rarely drop below £2,000 annually, even with careful ownership. Owners in Chelsea report that the S-Class attracts attention, but also attracts bills. Mercedes dealer labour rates exceed £150 per hour in some locations. The BMW 7 Series takes technology even further with gesture control, theatre screens for rear passengers, and driving dynamics that belie its substantial weight. Depreciation hits 61% within 3 years for some variants. That means a car costing £100,000 loses over £60,000 in value faster than most people pay off a mortgage. The 7 Series is mechanically complex, featuring active steering, adaptive suspension, and engines that demand premium servicing. Repair costs escalate quickly when sensors fail or suspension components wear. One owner in Glasgow described his 7 Series as brilliant when working and terrifying when the warning lights appear. Insurance groups reach into the high 40s. Real-world fuel economy rarely matches official figures. The 7 Series offers incredible value as a used purchase, but only for buyers with deep pockets and mechanical confidence. The Audi Q7 promised 7-seat luxury with genuine capability. What it delivered was one of the worst reliability records in the What Car survey. The Q7 achieved a fault rate of 47%, meaning nearly half of all owners reported problems within the survey period. Common issues include air suspension faults, electrical gremlins, engine misfires, and knock sensor failures. Repair bills frequently exceed £1,500, with Audi contributing only partial costs. The weight of the Q7 accelerates brake and tyre wear. Insurance groups climb into the 40s. Fuel economy in real-world driving rarely exceeds 25 miles per gallon. One owner in Bristol reported 4 separate dealer visits in a single year, with warranty claims disputed and goodwill contributions denied. The Q7 costs over £70,000 new. Used examples trade for less than half that, but the discount exists because running costs remain punishing throughout ownership. We close with the most iconic British luxury vehicle of all. The Range Rover represents aspiration, capability, and status in equal measure. Chelsea tractors line every affluent postcode. Premier League footballers collect them like watches. Royal warrants adorn the marketing materials. And yet, the Range Rover finished dead last in the What Car Reliability Survey of 16,000 owners. RepairPal rates reliability at 2 out of 5, placing it 15th out of 19 luxury SUVs. Breakdown figures are nearly double the average for vehicles of similar age. Air suspension failures trigger warning lights and leave vehicles sitting at awkward angles. Electrical faults span climate control, infotainment, and driver assistance systems. Water leaks through windscreen seals remain a persistent complaint. Engine repairs on diesel variants run into 5 figures. Insurance groups sit at the very top of the scale. One owner in Hampshire reported spending £11,000 on repairs within 2 years of purchase. The Range Rover sits on Forecourts not because it lacks desirability, but because experienced buyers know exactly what ownership involves. Across all 10 entries, a pattern emerges that British buyers would do well to remember. The prestige badges that command respect on the school run and the office car park hide running costs that punish ordinary wallets. Depreciation, insurance, servicing and repairs combine to create ownership experiences that bear no relation to the glossy brochures. True value in the UK used car market is not found in the cars that everyone recognizes. It is found in the cars that everyone overlooks, the reliable, the boring, the unglamorous machines that start every morning and never send you walking to the train station. If you have owned any of these cars, drop a comment below sharing your experience. This channel is built on real owner stories, not manufacturer press releases. And if you want more breakdowns like this one, hit subscribe. The numbers never lie, even when the badges try to.